Hey, Vikings faithful, Skol Nation, rise up. It's time to dive into the latest Vikings news after a tough Sunday night football loss to the Falcons. The box score doesn't lie, and it's telling a story of missed opportunities and a wake-up call for our boys in purple. Can Minnesota bounce back from this 22-6 defeat? Let's break it down, scene by scene, with all the passion of a true Vikings fan. What went wrong and what's next for our squad? Stick with me, and let's unpack this together. We're starting with the atmosphere at US Bank Stadium, electric as ever for the 2025 home opener. The crowd was hyped, especially with Jared Allen roaring in on a custom motorcycle at halftime to celebrate his Hall of Fame induction. The vibes were immaculate, with fans rocking light-up bracelets that turned the stadium into a pulsating purple sea. But Atlanta came in with a game plan, and their 36:32 time of possession showed they controlled the clock from the jump. What do you think? Did the Falcons' strategy catch us off guard? Drop your thoughts in the comments. The numbers paint a grim picture: 78 net rushing yards and 120 net passing yards for Minnesota. That's not the Vikings offense we know. Atlanta's Bijan Robinson was a one-man wrecking crew, gashing us for 143 yards on 22 carries, 6.5 yards a pop. Meanwhile, our run game sputtered, with Jordan Mason managing just 30 yards on 9 carries. It's tough to win when you're one-dimensional, right? How do we get our ground game back on track? Let's hear your fixes below. J.J. McCarthy, our young gunslinger, had a rough night, taking 6 sacks and throwing 2 picks. The Falcons' pass rush was relentless, with 7 different defenders hitting McCarthy. You could feel the pressure through the screen. Despite the struggles, McCarthy stayed poised in his presser, saying, "We've got to do a better job as an offense, just operating, playing one play at a time." Do you believe in JJ's ability to shake this off? Let's talk about how we protect our QB moving forward. The defense wasn't perfect either, but they had their moments. Eric Wilson's peanut punch forced a fumble recovered by Theo Jackson, and sacks from Jonathan Greenid, Jalen Redmond, and Dallas Turner gave us some hope. Still, tackling issues let Atlanta sustain drives, especially early on. As Kevin O'Connell noted, we had some players in position to make plays. Where do you think the defense needs to tighten up most? Drop your take in the comments. Injuries hit us hard, and that's a storyline we can't ignore. We were already missing starters like Blake Cashman, Jeff Okudah, and Christian Darrisaw. Then, concussions forced Justin Skule and Ryan Kelly out, with Aaron Jones and Gabe Murphy also leaving with hamstring and knee issues. Shuffling the O-line mid-game is never easy. How do you think these injuries will impact our depth? Let's discuss how the Vikings adapt. Let's talk about that back-breaking Falcons touchdown drive. 12 plays, 83 yards, eating up the clock with 3:25 left. Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier powered that march, and it felt like the air was sucked out of the stadium. Minnesota's defense was gassed after being on the field too long. Joshua Metellus said it best: "Nothing in this league is given. What adjustments do we need to stop those long drives?" Share your thoughts. The offense couldn't find its rhythm, managing just 10 first downs, the fewest in the NFL on Sunday. Adam Thielen nailed it. It's the greatest team game there is, because you have to have 11 guys on the same page. Missed throws, like McCarthy's interception to Naylor on a comeback route, didn't help. What's the key to getting our offense clicking again? Let's hear your game plan in the comments. Justin Jefferson hit a milestone, tying Larry Fitzgerald as the youngest to reach 500 receptions. But it was a quiet night with 3 catches for 81 yards. TJ Hawkinson and Thielen were limited too, combining for just 3 grabs. The Falcons' defense deserves credit, but our passing game needs to find its spark. How do we get JJ more involved next week? Drop your ideas below. One bright spot: Will Richard's 51-yard field goal before halftime, cutting the score to 9-6. That moment, sparked by McCarthy's deep ball to Jefferson, had the crowd roaring. Felt like we could turn the tide, just like in Week 1. Why couldn't we sustain that momentum? Let's break it down in the comments. Where did the energy go? Kevin O'Connell didn't sugarcoat it. Against any team in the NFL, if you do some of the things we did tonight, You're going to make it really hard on yourself. The Vikings' 8 penalties for 50 yards and 4 turnovers, 2 picks, 2 fumbles were backbreakers. How do we clean up these mistakes? Let's talk discipline and execution in the comments. Despite the loss, there's optimism in the locker room. McCarthy praised the defense's effort and emphasized the team's character. We're going to learn and get better and bounce back next week. Metellus echoed that, noting it's only week 2. Do you believe this team can rebound quickly? Share your confidence level below. The Falcons' game plan exposed our run defense, which isn't usually a weak spot. Robinson's 42 yards on the first 2 snaps set the tone, and we never fully recovered. O'Connell admitted tackling was an issue early. What's the fix for stopping big runs? Let's hear your defensive strategies in the comments. That fourth-quarter atmosphere with the light-up bracelets was unreal, but it wasn't enough to spark a comeback. McCarthy's fumble on a sack killed our momentum, and Atlanta took over. O'Connell said the loss stings even more in that environment. How do we turn home field advantage into wins? Drop your thoughts. Skol Nation, it's a long season, and this is just a bump in the road. McCarthy's words ring true. It's about getting back to the drawing board and working on the little things. Let's rally behind our Vikings. Smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe, and share this with every Vikings fan you know. Skol. Let's get ready for next week.